Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see this time we are going to talk about fresh release from Zvezda, and it's quite interesting kit because it comes in 1/35 scale and it copies dump truck KAMAZ-65115. It's a completely new release and kit number is 3650, and we have a commercial sample here which was bought with your help, with your donations, and now we have a chance to check it. And also, by the way, the fact that it's a commercial sample, it means that you'll get exactly the same stuff as what you'll see in this video review. So first of all, I have to note the box art. It looks quite good, and I mean all recent releases from Zvezda, they have really nice box arts. Doesn't matter which scale model, but still all these box arts look good. And box size here is quite large, I would say. Here you can see comparison with my hand. We have kit number on the side, I said it before, is 3650. Here we have also some information about the kit. So there are 426 parts, which is rather impressive, especially considering the fact that the length of this model will be only 20 centimeters. And here we have a paint chart so that you know which colors you need. As you can see, it's given in Zvezda and Tamiya paint numbers. On the other side, you'll find 3 other kits from the same brand. We reviewed them, and you can find a video on our YouTube channel. And here on the rear side you can find also the pictures of the finished model, also some detailed shots here, some short history, and again some information about this kit. So this is a side opening box, and just give me a second to open it. It should be easy to take it out because it's a typical Zvezda packaging. As you can see, we have a brown cardboard box inside, which actually protects all the parts, while the outer sleeve was just for the cover print. And if I open it, here is what I have inside. And this is quite surprising that we have orange plastic out of the box. I would say it looks unusual for a 1/35 scale kit. Maybe it also hints that you can build this kit without painting, but that would be really strange in my opinion. And now we can zoom in and start with something what was on the top. It's a vinyl tires, and of course I'm not that happy to see them, and I hope that some aftermarket brand, they will introduce their own resin upgrade, because I mean these parts might look good on the first sight if I show them like this. So here you can see the tire pattern, it looks good, but if I flip it like this, here you can see these extractor points for these vinyl parts. We have some pre-molded features, but they're also not that much of convincing. And I mean, from the other side, if you plan to do a weathering on your truck, this is not that important element, because obviously these wheels will be dirty. But again, the final decision is after you. If you are ready to spend a bit more, it's worth searching for some resin upgrade, which will improve the overall detailing of your build. Next, we continue with a Ziploc bag, which is dedicated to clear parts. So just give me a second to open it. And by the way, you saw also that there are not only clear parts, but decals and chrome sticker. So, chrome sticker, here it is. I know that some modders don't like it, they just paint their own chrome parts, but still it is nice inclusion, which might be handy for beginners. And here we continue with decal sheet. So as you can see, it also looks nice, printing quality is great. We have also license plates here. Of course, all these lines might be copied with your own masks, but it will require a bit more involvement with the kit. So again, it's your decision whether you would like to go with a bit more difficult route, let's say. Next, we have a clear sprue. So here we have all the necessary parts for the front cap and also for the headlamps. Molding quality looks great, but as usual, Zvezda does not include any masks or masking templates. So you will have to cover it all by your own, or maybe you will have to get some aftermarket release, which will actually help with this, let's say, procedure. So, first, I suggest we start with the plastic bag, which is dedicated to the orange sprues only. And it's not difficult to guess that here we have only the parts for external features. It means for the front cap and also for the rear section. And the plastic bag is sealed, so I'm opening it right now. And we will take a closer look in a second. Just give me a moment. It's a bit tricky to cut through, but we'll get there. If I open it carefully. Okay, so here it is. Here we have 2 orange sprues. So I suggest we start with the parts for the front cap. Here they are. And the overall design is something I would say is what expected from such kit. We have separate doors. And maybe it would be also possible to tilt over the front cap. That way you will be able to expose the engine in the model, but we will check this when we will be readying the assembly manual. And here you can take a closer look at all these separate panels. As you can see, they look quite nice. Attachment points are thin enough in order to carefully separate this part without damaging it. Here, by the way, is the front mask with pre-molded logo. And we also have the roof, as you can see here, separate as well. And here is the part. And rear wall, front windscreen frame, some parts for wheel arches. Let's flip it over so that we can see, for example, here are some pre-molded features on the bottom of the front cap. As you can see, door panels will have to be installed separately here, so no worries, the part will not stay like this on the model. Obviously, you will have to add more in order to improve the overall features on these parts. Next, as I said, we have also the parts for the rear section. So here it is. And again, these are large panels. Some of them will have to be combined one with another in order to recreate the bit complex, I would say, the shape of the elements. And here you can take a closer look because we have, again, a really good molding quality, and orange color looks funny. I mean, maybe some modders will be brave enough just not to paint it and apply dirt. Obviously, I would rather repaint it in order to get a better look, especially in 1/35 scale. In my opinion, it will be really important, but still it's something what is not often seen in the 1/35 scale kits today. So next we have a second gray, actually not gray, black Sprues set in a separate plastic bag. So just give me a second to open it. It is also sealed, so again I need scissors in order to open it, and then we will start. But straight away I can say that, I mean, it's not difficult to guess that we have all the drivetrain, engine, suspension and other parts here. And considering the parts count, I guess it should be a really detailed model. So let's see. Okay, we move this sprue to the side. Plastic bag also to the side. And we start with this plastic sprue. So it's a black plastic sprue. Maybe I will increase the ISO so that it won't be that dark for you. And let's zoom in straight away so that you can see what is actually pre-molded here. So we have a lot of parts for the drivetrain, as I said before, and also for the road wheels, as you can see. So wheel rims, they will be molded separately. Note that we also have KAMAZ logo pre-molded on the mudguards. This is a nice touch which is worth bringing out on your model, maybe with painting techniques, maybe with weathering. Here we continue with wheel axles, some parts for the engine, and also some parts for the suspension. And overall, I can say that this kit looks great. By the way, we have even the blocks for the wheels, which is quite surprising because, I mean, yes, it should be placed on the truck, but some brands would rather skip it and just not include it here, but we get it out of the box. Next, so this was one sprue. And why I'm a bit confused, because on the next sprue I also see some parts for the road wheels, but it's completely different sprue, because here we have main frame bars. You can see these large parts. We also have fuel tank which should be glued out of several parts, so be careful in order to get the right fitment without any visible gaps. We have lip springs here, some parts for the frame. They will be connecting these two bars together. But again, I suggest we zoom in as much as we can and we start from the top left corner as usual. So here you can see all these parts, and I can say that molding quality seems to be fine. We have even some pre-molded features on these large mainframe bars, and it's really good because you won't have to attach at least these parts. Here we continue with exhaust. Moreover, we also have some parts for the extended version of the rear section. This is quite surprising. I mean, this large rod, obviously it copies the extended version. This one will be for the, let's say, retracted version. Here is another mainframe bar, and next we continue with more parts for the suspension. And I will repeat myself, so here we have really nice molding quality, so it would be a shame not to play with painting and weathering all these elements so that you will be able to bring out all the extra features which are coming out of the box. But even this is not all, because as you remember, we had a separate front cap, and I was wondering if there will be anything under it, because obviously engine is hidden under the front cap, but we have the engine out of the box, and this is really detailed engine for the standard inclusion. Maybe you will be able to add some wiring, but that's pretty much all you can, let's say, add here, because all other features are copied by Zvezda. And here you can take a closer look at some of these parts. They are coming on this last black plastic sprue. And here we also encounter some thin parts, really thin, so here you can see comparison with my hand. So be careful with them, and even though Zvezda plastic is quite durable, still I would rather use special tools in order to install them in the right position and avoid breaking. Here, by the way, you can see the screen wipers as well. It's quite surprising that they're coming as a plastic parts, and also steering wheel is here, and door cards as well, by the way. Okay, so let's zoom out, and that was the last sprue in a black color. Next we continue with a marking guide, and I will have to close the lenses a bit. So here is the marking guide. Obviously it's just the orange marking, but nobody stops you from searching for some alternative painting option. Maybe you'll find something interesting for your build. Of course, we also have a special note for the assembly instructions and safety devices. And now we can get to the assembly manual, which is printed in black and white. Here I have to zoom out because it's quite a large brochure. And as I said, we have two assembly options, as you can see, with retracted and with stowed position. And also there is a short history note about the rear track. Let's open it. So here we have a parts map, and as usual, Zvezda does not mark which parts are not used, so be careful. And assembly process starts with a gearbox and the engine. And as I said, it should be quite detailed, so that's why I would recommend to think on how to expose it as well on the finished model, because it would be quite important. And in my opinion, it would be a shame to hide it under the front cap. Next, we continue with the driver and passenger seat for the front cap. We also start building the rear wall and the floor panel together with the subframe here. And then we work on the roof front panel. Note that even sun visors are copied here, which is rather funny. I mean, some modelers just skip on the front cap details, but it's not the case here, and that's why it might be a good idea to open one of the doors, because they're molded separately, even though manufacturer does not show that you can open them on this truck. Next, we continue with the side view mirrors. There are plenty of them, and then we start building the main frame, and we install the engine on this chassis, let's say. Next, we continue with wheel axles, fuel tank, and more parts for the engine. It means the exhaust tube here, some more parts for the various tanks. This is a wheel block or wheel choke, which we saw before. And what is next? Road wheels, obviously. Next, we continue with some special cylinders for the pneumatic system, and also spare wheel, which will be installed on the chassis. Also special bar protectors from the side. Here we start building another frame for the rear section. So as you remember, you can assemble it in two positions. It will be your decision, because maybe a retracted position will be useful in order to show what is actually on the frame. Maybe it will be also handy for some diorama idea, who knows. And here we can see some of the last steps, so mudguards, air intake, and also here we install this. We decide which part we install, and that will also influence the position of the rear wall on this rear deck. So overall we get a quite interesting kit in popular scale, so I don't think it will be a problem to find some suitable figures and build a interesting diorama project, as I said before. And price is also reasonable, so you should be able to get it in any good model shop. I would like also to say thank you for your support, which made this review possible. And if you have something to say about this kit, write it here in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.